A 7,000 page EIS is downright scary. I mean, that's so much information to try and get through and decipher. We're fighting this on time we really don't have. So when I look at an EIS that size, it's incomprehensible.
I see it as one big smokescreen. It doesn't matter what they put in it. They have an agenda to run an industry, and we're saying no to that industry.
The EIS actually is not designed to reach an outcome that is impartial. The EIS is just a bluff, a complete bluff and a farce.
Santos has finally produced its environmental impact statement for its Narrabri Gas Project. It's an enormous EIS. There's 7,000 odd pages of what Santos is proposing in its coal seam gas field development, but also what Santos says through its experts will be the likely impacts.
It's really hard to decide which aspect of that EIS is the worst. It is an amazing document, particularly when it comes to the chemical impact assessment or the chemical risk assessment. There are so many failings that I am surprised that any consultant would have put his name against it.
We do know that the Director General had specific requirements which they have simply not addressed in this document. And we also know that the Chief Scientist made recommendations that they haven't even tried to adhere to or fulfil.
And we've heard from so many people that have worked in the Planning Commission in the past, that this is a document that your local high school could probably do a better job. It's not in depth, they don't have any ground truthing, it's just a nightmare of a document.
I suggest to people that they read the first 4 documents only, if that's all they want to do. Or actually not even that much. You read the foreword by the chairman, where he makes the big blunder. Then you read the outline of the project and the executive summary. Just read those only if you want to. But when you do your submission, make sure it's completely 100% honest. I cannot stress that enough. You must be honest in your approach. But do one. List your concerns.
Whilst working with communities, I get everything from, I don't want my young children standing at a bus stop and have, massive semi-trailers, passing by, spraying them with gravel, right through to, we're a highly specialised business and this compromises all our markets.
Reading in the EIS, they seem to think that running a 3 or 4 metre long bare flame flaring from a gas well through a total catastrophic fire ban is quite acceptable according to Santos, and it's only a 1 in a million chance that they'll set fire to the scrub, which is absolutely laughable. You just got to have one leaf go through that flare and you're in trouble.
The EIS is on public exhibition. This is a really important aspect of planning law in New South Wales. One of the very foundations of New South Wales planning law is public participation is really important.
A lot of people think that, I'm not going to put in a submission, nobody's going to read it. They're probably right. However, it's always good to put in a submission because you've had your say. Somewhere, someone down the line will refer to these submissions. And when it's something that is contentious, there's more chance that it will be read in depth.
It's imperative that farmers have their say on this. They must get on board and realise the potential effects of this industry.
Add your name, add your voice to this process and show Santos and the New South Wales Government that we will not stand to have our land and our water irreversibly damaged.
It's very important. We know that there are so many farmers out there who are whiffers yet don't turn up to do that. We need to get out and make submissions and put it out there. It's the numbers we need. They've got to see that there's a lot of people that don't want this. Otherwise we get run over. Yeah.
It's so important that as many people as possible make submissions, personal submissions to the EIS. It doesn't have to be science, it can be just your personal experience and what you know, and as much as you know, everything matters, every contribution is important because so many people know different elements of this issue, and as many elements and aspects to this that we can bring to light of the government, they all matter, and you never know which one is going to be the one that might just make someone think.
It's extremely important that farmers put a response in. Every response that's put in has to be read by the government, and and they have to hand that on to Santos.
This is a document that's been prepared with the view of pushing ahead and developing the project. The public gets to have a say. It gets to put forward and challenge the propositions that are stated in the EIS.
Easiest thing they can do is jump online, Google coal seam gas, Google Narrabri Gas Project, get a little bit of information, make your mind up. It is such a simple process to make a submission against the EIS.
This industry has been around us for a while now, and it's always been a risk, but this is just the most important thing that we've ever been faced with.
We've got to be united. We're now linked more than ever. They use it against us, we're going to use it right back against them.
It doesn't have to be a big submission, it just has to be a small submission. Send it in. The more concerns that come in, the more the government has to look at it.
The concern is that people will shy away from having some level of input, and it's really critical, I feel. We at Namoi Water feel that the government is focusing on the fact that this is an 850 well project and it's just in the Pilliga. The risk is that Santos hold a significant petroleum exploration lease over a much broader area of high quality farming, strategically classified land. This project opens the gateway for the broader resource to be mined over the longer term. The risk I see is that people within the community and farmers don't understand that this project is opening the floodgates for coal seam gas into the future. Our view is that predominantly the majority of the gas is not located in the Pilliga forest, it's located under strategic agricultural land. That has a significant risk attached to it, not only for water resources but for our community in the long term.
They're just trying to roll out things as far as they can and just try and get people to get stressed about it. Who wants to go through however many pages, huge amounts of pages of all this rubbish?
People are a bit frightened about putting submissions in. They think, oh my goodness, you know, people don't have to put in a 7-page submission, let alone 7,000 pages. Put a bit of heart into it, you know, put a bit of ticker into it, how it's going to affect you. Don't ever be afraid to put at the end of a submission. And the other reasons that I am pro or against what the submission is for is because, you know, I don't want my livelihood stuffed up. I don't want my farm ruined. I don't want to have a shortage of water for my stock.
If you have any concerns at all about coal seam gas, whether it be in your particular area or here, ask the question.
You might think that you're alone, but you're actually not. So put in a submission that says, I object, on whatever grounds it is, because believe me, there are many.
Everyone needs to voice their concern. We need numbers in this. We really need the numbers behind us.
It's best if it comes from the heart, and the more important that it comes from an informed heart, so that the government know that this does not have social licence to proceed in our community.
If anyone cares enough to make an effort to make a submission, it's not very hard for them to contact someone in their community to ask for help. The most important thing is to do it.
It's vital that everyone put their own words in. We cannot put a template in because then it will just all be shuffled into one box, whereas everyone puts their own individual story in. That is the vital part of what we have to do with the response to the EIS.
Give it your best shot.
At the end of the day, it's just important to get your experience of the local environment, your understanding, your knowledge, and put it on paper and send it in.
Everyone has to have their say, and you know, do your research. I mean, you don't have to do much to know that this is going to be a very negative impact, not just to the farmers and their water, but also the communities.
Get online, make a submission, doesn't have to be much. Without that, we're really sitting ducks out here.
It's very, very important that people have their say, because if people don't, then, you know, nothing happens. They'll say, we gave everybody an opportunity, we only got 20 submissions.
It's absolutely critical that farmers, landholders, townspeople, everybody that can makes a submission to this EIS process. You can do that by logging on to csgfreenorthwest.org.au. The process is quite simple.
So they can say what they like, and they can print what they like, and it can take as many pages they ever want. But it only takes one page and one word to say no.